We're back to address the next misguided assumption on Bagger Myths. I'm Aaron Colton, and I'm here once again with my good buddy Frankie Garcia.
This time, we're talking to all you track day junkies that think if it's got bags, it's not real riding. Today's bagger myth: baggers don't perform well.
We hear this all the time, Frankie, and until recently, I was one of the guys saying it. They're ill handling, they're too heavy, but this thing is what changed my mind.
I think Tyler O'Hara and I already put this myth to rest at the King of the Baggers race, but let's dive in a little bit deeper.
That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with examining how these things are designed. And Frankie, if you don't mind, the technical stuff is my cup of tea, so let me run with this.
Go right ahead, Einstein. I'm just the guy who put this Challenger on the podium at Laguna Seca.
For this technical breakdown, we have the Indian Chieftain and the Indian Challenger. Indian's engineers are like motorcycle mad scientists. They're all lifelong riders that pride themselves on delivering bikes that perform at the highest level. It doesn't matter if it's a Scout, an FTR, or one of these big boys. If it's coming out of their factory, it's gotta be able to shred. Weight distribution is something that was often overlooked in this category, and it had a lot of the bikes feeling like a wet noodle. They integrated the power plant into the frame here to lower the center of gravity and has this thing feeling real nimble once the kickstand's up. They also went above and beyond on the suspension package, having both modern inverted forks on the front end with a monoshock on the rear. A lot of adjustment capability with those that often we didn't have before. As far as the brakes go on this thing, second to none. Dual radio monoblock calipers matched up to some big old rotors to give you all that feel that you need. Motor, this is the new Power Plus motor. It's been the talk of the V-twin industry since it came out. When it comes to power delivery, this is king. And in the air-cooled category, we have the Thunderstroke. It gets no better than that. Now, when it comes to the tech, we have the Bosch IMU. What does that do? That translates the rider input to give you the most enjoyable ride that you're gonna wanna get out of this thing.
Listen, nerd, I understand all this stuff's important and all, but I'd like to add a little bit of value to the situation. Why don't you say we take these bad boys and hit the streets and show everyone what they can really do?
Frankie, that's the best idea I've heard all day, but let's make it interesting. I'm gonna go grab my FTR and have you challenge me on this big boy. Let's get after it. Damn, Frankie, I gotta say, I underestimated you on that thing.
See, between the motor, the brakes, and the maneuverability of this bagger, I don't think there was any getting away from me today.
You know, I quickly saw on the straights that maybe I wasn't gonna be able to drop that thing, but I knew through the S's I'd have the advantage, but sure enough, peeking through in the corner, there was the Challenger just rocking and rolling.
You can't let the big looks fool you. This bike is a handling machine.
A fine-tuned machine. And I think it's safe to say at this point, we've debunked that myth, that baggers can't perform.
Couldn't agree more, man. Thanks for hanging with us, and catch us on the next episode of Bagger Myths.